Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that playoff prediction, basketball analysis on Analysis Playground on YouTube, exclusively on air forever. And we're gonna talk about how the Thunder got a new challenger, and now it's the Lakers. LeBron Ramon James, the king of the game, get to go against the Thunder, the defending champions. And let's talk about them Lakers first, because that's what y'all came here for. DeAndre Ayton is going to be important. You know they got Isaiah Hardenstein. You know they got Chet Fitch hungering in that paint or around that paint. Will he disappear in this series? We know that DeAndre Ayton can rebound. We know he can score near the rim. We know he can make a jump shot. He's a decent free throw shooter for a big. But will he give you that double double? Will he not give you that double double? Will he even be a factor enough in the series? Getting guarded by those guys that have good attention to detail, good help defense, and they stick right by you as much as they can, and they box out real well. He's going to have to fight, scratch, and claw his way to some boards. He's going to have to put a lot of effort and a lot of hustle into his game if he wants the Lakers to win and if he wants to have a good performance. Rui Hachimura, we know what he wants to do. That's hit the elbow jumper to three and drive to the basket, make a free throw, get out in transition if he can. But he's so far one of their best solid wing defenders. And I like what he's doing in the playoffs. I like that they got him a couple years ago. He has been a really, really good plug-in piece for them, whether that's coming off the bench or a starter. You have to like him for that. But, you know, they're going to try to make it contested. They're going to try to make him work for it a little bit. Since they are on his length level, they got a lot of guys that can throw at him, a lot of guys that can cover ground and contest. He still shows that he can make them. He's going to have to do it throughout the entire series. Jackson Hayes, you know he likes to roll to the basket. You know he's going to finish. You know he's going to possibly get to the free throw line. But can he make his free throws? Will he be able to be a weapon for him if Ayton can't be? We know he's all effort. But like I said, Hardenstein and Chet and Jalen Williams and those guys are going to make it tough for him to finish and get boards. So he's going to have to play as hard as he can and hope those opportunities come his way. Bronny James, we know he's not going to play much in the series. He's not ready for this. But if it's a blowout, he'll get on the court and he'll be able to put up some numbers some way, somehow. Luke Kennard was MIA in the last series against the Rockets. They had a lot of guys like Tari Eason and Amen Thompson that they can throw at him and take some of that airspace away, take some of that scoring away, and that shooting away where you got to rush some shots or force them up a little bit, and he can be a little off. The Thunder can put those problems out there for him too, since they got a lot of athletic wing guys that can really cover ground and really stay in front of you and fight over those screens. And this is going to be a hard game for a lot of these guys to be a factor in, since they more skill set players. You can say the same thing about Dalton Connect. You can say a little bit of the same thing about Jake LaRavia. You know they want to get open. You know they want to get the wide open shots. But if they're not getting that, how will they get their offense? How will they score? Especially if they're not getting stops or transition opportunities with steals and blocks. Now, Jake LaRavia can get you a steal. He can get you a block, but he's not the greatest offensive weapon for them. And Dalton Connect is more of a guy that they put in if it's a blowout. And then you look at Marcus Smart. We know his jump shot can come and go. But one thing we're not going to try to say he can't do is defend. We know he's going to go for the steals. We know he's going to go for the blocks. We know he's going to play hard. We know he's going to try to score in other ways if he can. But we know that's not his greatest strength. And like I said, the Thunder got a lot of guys they can throw at him. And that's going to be taller and more longer than him. So that can make things a lot more difficult as well. Nick Smith Jr., Thero, Drew, and Jared Vanderbilt, we know they might play under 10 minutes depending on if it's a blowout or not. They're not going to really do too much for the Lakers. J.J. Redick going to go with the guys he feels like gives him the best chance of winning each and every night. And if those guys fail, then these guys get in. And they're good enough to be on the roster. They're good enough to make shots. But it isn't going to matter too much in this series. Vanderbilt might be a strong, big body that they can throw out there. But if he's not rebounding or scoring or defending at a high level, then he's not going to give you much. But if he's doing those things, he might get 10 minutes or a little bit more than that. If not, he's just going to be a guy that's going to be sitting on the bench. Chris Manning, he ain't going to do much. He might not even play at all. Maxi Kleber, he most likely will if it's a blowout. He's a strong, good, athletic big that can finish, but he's on the older side, so I think they're going to expose him defensively. The Thunder will, so I think it's going to be hard for him to score, hard for him to finish, and get any good looks unless it's an offense rebound or a guy missing assignment, and then it opens up, he just catches and finish. Other than that, you look at LeBron. He's older. He's going to need a whole lot of help. He's going to need some space. You know, he likes to attack the basket. You know, he's a pass first type of guy. You know, he can make the three. He can post up a little bit. He can hit the fadeaway. He can get to the free throw line, but it's going to be difficult. He had trouble scoring on the Rockets. He has trouble being efficient against that team. The Thunder can do similar things to him and even just completely take him out the game unless he's just going to be aggressive, which sometimes he does, sometimes he don't. But it's up to him. It's how his mentality is what he sees. He's a high IQ player, so he's going to figure out where he needs to attack and how he needs to attack when those things open up or when he sees them. The problem with this series, no Luka Doncic most likely if he does come back. We don't know how his conditioning is going to be. We don't know how his scoring is going to be. We don't know if he's even going to be able to stay healthy because his hamstring thing keeps popping up on him. So hopefully we do see him. You know, he's one of the best players in the league, one of the best facilitators in the league, one of the best ISO scorers in the league, one of the most unguardable players. He's going to get his numbers. He's going to get his points, even if he has to go to the free throw line, even if he has to find a way to trick you into it. He's going to get it done. But will that be efficient enough? Will he turn the ball over a lot and fuel the Thunder offense enough to where they can be overturned the damage he does to the Thunder? And they showed that even in the regular season. Well, you can do those things. It could work. But we also can do things to you that can work for us. And it cancels each other out and it can turn into a blowout or even just a game where they might come up short. And then, of course, you got to talk about Austin Reeves. He's a slower guy, but he uses his brain a lot as well. He's going to take his dribbles very slow. He's going to find a way to find a crack to open it. If you're going to look at your feet, he's going to find a way to get the floater off. He's going to find a way to get the contact. He's going to find a way to get open threes. He's going to come off screens. He's going to test commitment of players, of how hard they want to play, how committed they're going to be defensively to him. You can say the same thing about LeBron. You can say the same thing about Luka since they're their primary creators. And, you know, Reeves is going to have to figure it out. He's going to have to make shots. And he's going to have to do it from the perimeter. And he's going to also have to do it efficiently. And if not, this can be a series that can be a sweep or a gentleman sweep. And let's talk about the Thunder. You know, this is a team that is very, very tough to beat in general. I mean, 64-18 on the regular season and defending champions last season. But, you know, they have a lot of players on this roster. I mean, Alex Caruso, he's going to be big, giving them speed and quickness. A guy that can really compete defensively and give them quality minutes, while also can get to the basket, get out in transition, and create opportunities with his defense. And he can also hit the corner three and the spot up threes if you leave him open. Dort can do the same thing. It's just he's a better three-point shooter. You know you're going to leave him open. You know you're going to have to double team Shea or somebody, and he's going to be ready to counter with the three if they kick it out to him. He can also put the ball on the floor and make a pass or a jump shot or a floater. Isaiah Hartenstein, physical, hard body, going to set screens, roll to the basket, have that floater ready, have dunks ready, and have the high-low pass into Chet, and Chet going to have the high-low pass into him. If you miss him or you don't pay attention to him, they can hurt you on the offensive rebounding end and get easy opportunities that way. We know Chet Holmgren can get guys that's bigs or physical out the paint because they got to guard him. He can make a wide-open three. He's fast enough and quick enough to blow by you. He's also fast and quick enough to move his feet to be able to get close to the basket and do little push shots to get it in the basket. And he can dunk because he is long and athletic, and he can get to the rim really well. Isaiah Joe is going to be essential, just like Aaron Wiggins and Cason Wallace. You know, they can go for the steals. They can hit the three. They can get out in transitions with those opportunities with their defense. And obviously they can get to the basket too if you don't pay attention to them too much. And then you look at A.J. Mitchell. He's going to be huge for this series because he can break down the defense. He can hit the mid-range. He can hit the three. He can get to the basket. He can kick out the bigs like Chet or Jalen Williams for the threes. or he can find somebody like Hardenstein, or he can get to the free throw line too. So his penetration and his scoring is going to be good for them, especially if they don't have Jalen Williams for a lot of the series. We don't know when he's going to be back and when he's going to be ready. And he's been having a hamstring issue too, so he can always happen again, even though we want it not to. And then you look at Jared McCain, you know he's going to come in and provide scoring. He's going to hit the threes. He's going to try to hit the mid ranges. If he can get to the basket or get to the free throw line, he might try that too. Lakers got some slower players that he can probably get by. And that can be something good for them. Other than that, Topic not going to play much unless it's a blowout. Kenrich, he's going to get some minutes, but he's not going to play a crazy role because they have a lot of guys ahead of him. Carlson, he's not going to play much either unless it's a blowout. He just gives the size and somebody that can just burn the minutes. Same with Brooks. We know he's not a bad player. He's just not as needed because they have better players ahead of him, and they're going to play their best guys to get the win. And obviously, this team is just well equipped to deal with the Lakers. We know how rangy they can be. We know how much ground they can cover as defenders, whether that's in the paint or on the perimeter. And then, of course, we got to talk about Jalen Williams. You know, he's strong. He has good hands defensively. He can create turnovers with steals or blocks. He also can hit the corner three, the top of the key three. We know he can do the spin jump shot to get the mid-range going. We know he can get all the way to the basket. We know he can get to the free throw line. I don't think they have anybody that can stop or slow him down. And we know that's just another defender that makes things tougher and harder for the Laker perimeter players to get the looks and the opportunities that they may want or need, obviously, to be successful in this series. And then Shai, the GOAT, the greatest Oklahoma City Thunder player ever, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They ain't going to have nothing for him. They're going to have to throw two bodies at him. They're going to have to find a way to get the ball out of his hands as much as they can. But we know that man can get to the basket. We know he can hit that mid-range in the post, pull up, even if he gets to the free throw line because you're over-aggressive on him, because you want to stop that man at all costs. He can hit the three from time to time off the dribble. He can also just pull it up if he wants to. We know he's a smooth, cool guy that can do basically what he pleases to defenses. But he's going to get all the attention, and his teammates are going to feed and get fed and eat well off his skills. You know, his skills is pivotal to what this team does, just like what LeBron and Austin Reeves are going to try to do. They're going to look for theirs and look for their teammates. And Shai is going to be the best player in the game. He's going to be the best player in the series. You just need him to stay healthy. If you have him alone, that should be enough to win this series. He's just that good. But with the team he has and the matchups that favor basically the Thunder all across the board, I got the Thunder in the sweep. I didn't really like how the Lakers played the Rockets, especially those last couple games. They looked like they couldn't really make shots. They looked like they was relying too much on LeBron. LeBron just couldn't create the opportunities that he used to. He just couldn't score as dominantly as he wanted to a lot of the times. And I think the Thunder can pose the same problems that the Rockets did against the Lakers. They have the athletes. They have the size. They have the wingspans. They have the guys that play hard and want to win. They want to create opportunities, and the Lakers got to take care of the ball. They got to really slow things down, and we know the Thunder is going to try to ramp things up and speed them up a little bit and create all type of chaos and havoc that they can use as advantage to get easy looks and opportunities to blow that thing open. So I picked the Thunder to sweep the Suns. I thought the Suns was a tough team. I really respected what they did in the regular season. I really liked how they played as a team, but they just could not slow down or stop whatever the Thunder was doing, and it took a toll on them throughout the series, and that's why they got swept. I think this is no different. Like, the only way I see the Thunder losing the game is if Luka just goes off and just starts making everything. But since he's not even guaranteed to play in this series, and they match up well against them all across the board, I'm going with the Thunder in 4. I don't think they lose a game. The games might be close throughout the series, a couple of them maybe, but I still think the Thunder have better defensive players. They have guys that can really make a difference on both ends, and I feel like Shai is the best. He's the clutch player of the year this year, and last year he was just crazy in the clutch too. So I don't see that even being a chance for them to win either. I think if the game is close, he's going to find a teammate, or he's going to get to the free throw line, or he's going to make the shot. He done it all season, so he's going to close the Lakers out if the gamers are close. And even if they're close going into the fourth quarter, we know that the Thunder can turn it up. We know that they can. And if that happens, it's going to be an ugly series for the Lakers. They're going to look at it and say, we got here. We did what we could, but they were just a better team. And that's what the Suns said. We got to give them their love. We got to give them their respect. We got to give them their credit because it's due. And competitors feel that way. You beat us at our best. The Lakers might not be at their best, but they got to play with what they have. The Thunder do too throughout the series, but the Thunder have too many advantages, too many holes in the Lakers offense, too many holes in the Lakers defense. And I feel like those potholes is going to sink them and damage their ride to the point where they might be stranded. And if they get stranded, nobody's going to be in a rush to help them, so they might have to call somebody to tow them. That can take hours, that can take a while, but as long as they get back home and focus on the next season, building their roster even better around Luka, that's their goal, and that's what they should focus on. Because let's be honest, most people didn't think the Lakers was contenders coming into the playoffs anyway. They thought that they had to fill one of those top 8 spots. They did that. They won 50-plus games. They lost their best player. They lost their other one. They slowly getting everybody back. I still don't think that's going to be enough to beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. I don't think the Lakers can win 4 games. So if I don't think they can win 4 games, they lose the series anyway. But I'm picking them to sweep them, just like I picked the Thunder to sweep the Suns. I don't see these teams being too much different when it comes to how the Thunder can defend them and play them. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share. Hit the notification bell to get that analysis when it first come out. Thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the support over the years and still to this day. Not only that, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all hopefully later today with more analysis, man. And whatever else come up. But, I want y'all to do that Celtics Philly game when that come up. So if you're new to the channel, this is your first time checking it out and first time watching, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.